Mom cheated with my daughter. I never imagined my life would take such a devastating turn. For years, I believed I had built the perfect family, a loving wife, a wonderful daughter, and a home filled with warmth and laughter. But sometimes, life has a cruel way of unraveling the things we hold most dear. I married Laura when I was 28. She was everything I had ever wanted, kind, supportive, and incredibly beautiful. We had our daughter, Emily, a year later, and from the moment she was born, she became the center of our universe. As years passed, our bond grew stronger, and I took pride in being a devoted husband and father. We lived a simple yet fulfilling life. I worked as an engineer while Laura stayed home to take care of Emily. The two of them shared a special connection, one I always admired. Laura wasn't just a mother to Emily, she was her best friend. They spent hours together, giggling over books, watching movies, and sharing secrets that even I wasn't privy to. I never questioned it. I was just happy that my daughter had such a loving mother. Everything seemed perfect until Emily turned 19. She had grown into a beautiful, independent young woman, full of ambition and energy. She started college in the same city, so she often came home on weekends. At first, I noticed small things, long whispers between Laura and Emily, quick glances, inside jokes that I wasn't a part of. But I dismissed them as normal mother-daughter closeness. Then, Laura's behavior changed. She became distant from me, often making excuses to avoid intimacy. Our late-night conversations turned into silence, and she seemed to always be on her phone, texting someone with an expression I couldn't quite read. I assumed she was just going through a phase, maybe a midlife crisis. But then, I began to notice Emily behaving differently too. She became secretive, avoiding eye contact, and her usual affection towards me dwindled. There was something between them, something that didn't feel right. I tried to ignore it, convincing myself that I was overthinking. One evening, I came home early from work, exhausted and hoping to spend some time with my family. As I walked upstairs, I heard whispers from our bedroom. My heart pounded in my chest. The voices weren't just whispers, they carried an intimacy that froze me in place. I pushed the door open, and my world collapsed. There, on our bed, were Laura and Emily. My wife. My daughter. Entwined in a way that no words could ever justify. For a moment, time stopped. My mind couldn't comprehend the scene before me. The two people I loved most had betrayed me in a way I never thought possible. Laura's face turned pale, while Emily stared at me, horror-stricken. "Dad," she started, but I couldn't hear anything beyond the ringing in my ears. I stumbled backward, my breath shallow, my heart shattering into a million pieces. "How could you?" I whispered, my voice barely audible. "How could you do this to me? To our family?" Laura burst into tears. "I didn't mean for this to happen. It just did." Emily hid her face in her hands, sobbing. "Dad, I never wanted to hurt you. But the damage was done." There were no words, no excuses, no justifications that could ever undo the betrayal I had just witnessed. I packed a bag that night and left the house. I couldn't bear to stay under the same roof. I checked into a cheap motel, my mind racing, trying to make sense of everything. How long had this been going on? Was I blind all these years? Over the next few weeks, Laura and Emily tried to reach out, begging for forgiveness, trying to explain. But what was there to explain? They had crossed a line that should never have been crossed. My love for them turned into a pain so deep that it consumed me. I filed for divorce. Laura moved in with her parents, while Emily stayed in her college dorm. I cut off all contact, choosing solitude over the unbearable agony of their betrayal. I spent years trying to heal, trying to understand. Therapy helped, but the scars never fully faded. The people who were supposed to be my forever had destroyed me in a way I never thought possible. Life doesn't always give us the answers we seek. Sometimes, the people we trust the most are the ones who hurt us the deepest. I don't know if I will ever be able to love again, to trust again. But I do know one thing: some wounds, no matter how much time passes, never truly heal. And some betrayals are simply unforgivable.